You're streaming too much. I'm sorry, I have to say it. I know other people have said it. I'm just going to give you my opinion on why I think you're streaming too much and give a solution and just I'm going to give you something to think about here, right? Just take what I say with a pinch of salt. I'm very opinionated. I understand that sometimes I say things that maybe not everyone agrees with. So please just don't judge me for that. I'm just talking based off of experience. So this video is really aimed at people who have got a full-time job and they've started streaming and they are wanting to become a full-time streamer / content creator. And the problem that I have been seeing is that everyone is kind of going all in on streaming, like streaming 4 or 5 days a week, etc., etc. And this isn't just about those people that are streaming for 1 or 2 viewers. This is even still about people that are streaming to 10, 15, 20, 30 viewers, up to 100 viewers, right? Like this still applies to those sorts of people. And I fall into this category as well. The reason why I have the opinion that I'm about to share with you is because things have happened to me and it's changed my perspective on things. And this is now my outlook on it. And I'd just like, you don't have to agree, you don't have to take my advice, but hopefully it will just make you think about becoming a full-time streamer differently. So the problem is that, like I said, people are putting all their eggs into one basket. If you want to become a full-time streamer, right, you need to be able to support yourself financially over the long run, right? And if you put all of your eggs into this streaming basket, you're essentially relying on your streaming income to pay for your life, like your necessities. And that is the problem. One, because it is extremely difficult to get to a point where you have enough subs and revenue from bits to basically maintain enough level of income to pay for your bills, your rent, etc. This is also about, like, if you see people say they're a full-time streamer, yeah, and they're on like 400 or 500 subs, most likely is that they live at home with their parents. It's about living a long-term career as a streamer / content creator. And added on top of that, if you're relying on your streaming revenue to pay for everything, that fluctuates so much. Like, I've seen people go from 1,200-1,300 subs to next month 600-700, almost half, right? Imagine this. Imagine your job, right? And 1 month you get paid £10 an hour, and the next month your employer goes, oh, this month we're only paying you £6 an hour. Think about that. That is potentially what could happen. That, to me, sounds stressful. And I've seen Harris Heller comment on this a few times. I've seen Stream Scheme comment on this a few times about the stress of having your streaming income as your primary source of income when you have to start paying bills and rent, etc. To me, that does not seem like a position I want to be in. And yes, right, I'm just gonna just say it. There are people that stream that make a shit ton of money from streaming. They are way above everyone else and they're living a comfortable life from streaming money, yes. But to get to that point is so fucking difficult, right? So difficult. And I think there is actually a better strategy and way to look at it over the long run to try and increase the chances of you being able to go full-time as a streamer / content creator, whilst also maintaining a sustainable, stable income where you don't have to basically be scraping the barrel every month. And so the way I see it, again, you don't have to agree with me here, you should not be looking at streaming as like this massive piece of the puzzle. Everything is evolved around streaming. All of my content elsewhere is about pushing people to my stream, because streaming is the main source of income. It's where I spend the most time, etc. I think that if you're starting out or you're a small streamer, I think that is a bad approach. I think if you go for that approach, you significantly decrease the chances of you getting to a point where you can support yourself financially over the long run. And I think the way that people should start looking at it is actually streaming should be a piece of the puzzle, but not the majority of it. You need to start thinking of ways to diversify your income so you're less risk to fluctuations in each individual income source. So if you're, like I said before, if you're solely reliant on your sub count and your bits and it goes like that, that's not good. That's high risk. If you've got multiple revenue incomes, approximately equal amounts, then if your sub revenue goes like that, it doesn't matter too much because you've got stable sources of income from other platforms. Those other platforms are YouTube and TikTok, really, but we know that TikTok doesn't really give you much monetization through the creator fund. So really I'm talking about YouTube here. I'm talking about building a YouTube channel alongside your Twitch stream that allows you to make money from ads and then make money from sponsored video. And so just to go a bit deeper into that, what I'm essentially saying, if you're streaming like 5-6 times a week and you're also working full time, it means you don't have a huge amount of time to create content, both short form and long form. You're basically like, if you look at it like from a time perspective, say you're putting 30 hours into both streaming and content creation, but 80% of those hours are actually spent on streaming. You're essentially spending a huge amount of your time doing a thing called live streaming that doesn't essentially grow you, like on a platform that has no discoverability. Just think about that. So you're neglecting basically YouTube, of which you could potentially make a significant amount of money, and it also helps you grow your Twitch, right? So if you've got Twitch and you've got YouTube, both platforms could essentially deliver you more revenue than the other, right? They're arguably equally as important. I see YouTubers that make a lot of money from YouTube and they live stream and they don't make as much, and I see people that live stream and they also do YouTube but they make more money live stream. So in my opinion, the chances of going for this kind of streaming all my eggs in one basket approach with a little bit of TikTok and YouTube, the chances of you getting to a point where you can like go full time and maintain a stable income, like getting to that point, like the top 1% of the top 1%, that is significantly harder than having approach that is almost like 50-50 Twitch, YouTube long form. Because yes, YouTube long form is a long game and it is difficult. If you put the work in and you're consistent and you continually improve, you'll start to see the rewards back potentially over 2 or 3 years. I've seen people stream on Twitch and they've just dropped off. It happened to me, right? I was averaging like 25 viewers. I peaked at like I think 30. I had 550, 600 subs. I kept doing what I was doing, streaming 4, 5, 6 times a week, doing TikTok, but no long form YouTube. And I've been struggling. I'm now on 100 subs and I average about 10 viewers. And now I barely make any money from streaming and I've got no real other income coming from anywhere else apart from my main job. But in terms of my content brand, like nothing, because for the last 6-7 months, I put all my eggs in one basket and that didn't pay off. And now I'm kind of starting from square one on YouTube and not on TikTok. I've built some growth, but I'm not where I want to be, where actually, if I retrospectively think, would I have done things differently? Yes, I would have. I would have not streamed 5 days a week. I would have stuck to streaming 3 days a week and put more effort and time into building my YouTube long form so that I can build my sub count on there, start to get some ad revenue money, potentially some sponsored deals, and also then get people over to my Twitch. But because I'm focusing on YouTube as well, I don't have to also worry about getting them over to Twitch because they actually hold a bit of value just as a YouTube subscriber based on me potentially getting sponsored videos. And so actually, like I don't know how else to say it. Like people are spending so much time live streaming when it just doesn't give you any growth. Like you're much better off spending more time, like I said, leveling up your short form, leveling up your long form, growing your YouTube long form, growing your TikTok, growing on Instagram, and then using live streaming as just an additional offering of content and it not being your main offering. And so, yeah, I want people to just think about that. Think about what I've said. I'm not talking about short-term gains here. Yes, if you're on 10, 15 viewers and you stream more, you're more likely to hold a higher average. Yeah, of course you are. But are you likely to grow more by streaming 5 days a week for 2 years straight compared to streaming 3 days a week and actually pushing out more YouTube videos and making them high quality? I don't think you'll grow as quick as if you have a more balanced strategy, in my opinion. Because like I said, you'll be making more effort to grow your other socials rather than just spending all your time streaming. I know people go, oh, but I love streaming. I love my community. Yeah, that's great. You can still love them just as much by streaming 3 days a week. I think the reason why a lot of people stream that much is because what's easier, streaming for a game that I love playing, talking to a community for 7 hours, or sat here focused, dedicating my time to creating content, editing and that, which is more fun. The streaming is. So that's why people, I think, lean towards doing that more than editing and creating content. But I think, yeah, if you have a 3 day a week approach, I also think if you're a really new streamer, you also then you're not going to lead yourself down a route where you kind of get to 5 days a week. You don't have the time that you need to be creating the other content that you want to create. And then you've got to then stream less and you're going to then drop viewership and that's going to hurt you. If you start from instead of going all in, just start with 3 days a week. If and when the time is right for you to stream more because you think it's appropriate, then your community will appreciate that. I don't think you'd lose numbers by streaming more. And so it's kind of, you can only go upwards instead of going from 5 to 4 to 3 and going backwards like I have. And I've lost viewers because I feel like I don't stream as much. I'm not as relevant. So now I'm back to a 3 day a week strategy and I'm now hit my baseline of like 10 viewers, average viewers. And I'm putting a lot more effort into growing all my other socials, and live streaming is just a piece of the puzzle rather than all of the puzzle. So yeah, that is kind of an explanation of how I think people should be looking at live streaming as a full-time career if you've already got a full-time job, and how you should not be putting all your eggs in the live streaming basket and actually just giving it equal attention as much as you do YouTube long form and the short form to grow yourself on all platforms so that you can diversify yourself and increase the chances of you having multiple revenue streams in 2 to 3 years time. Sorry if that was a little bit waffly and ranty and I maybe said a few things in there that people might not agree with, but yeah, like hopefully you can just look at what I said like with a little bit of a pinch of salt and kind of just take the overarching kind of picture of me kind of making a point that people are streaming too much and you should actually diversify your time more across content like in different platforms. So yeah, got to this part of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful. I hope maybe it could shine some new light on your strategy going forward. Yeah, if you've got any questions, drop them down below. But other than that, have a nice day. And above all else, go and get it.